Hola, mi nombre es Derek Mankey, and now I also switched to English. I'm very happy to be here on behalf of the CyberThreat Alliance. I work with Fortinet for almost 15 years. I'm involved very heavily with global security strategic alliances. So I sit on an expert working group with Interpol, the ICGEG, the IGCEG, the Interpol Global Cybercrime Expert Group, as well as NATO NCI FIRST, which is a global forum of national computer emergency response, and of course, the CyberThreat Alliance. And the CyberThreat Alliance is quite unique. So I've been with it since day one, founded originally by Fortinet, McAfee, Palo Alto, and Symantec. I wrote some of the initial bylaws with it, and when we formed the alliance, we wanted to get together and do something unique in the industry. Form an alliance, an organization that's not a pay-to-play. We want people that pull their own weight in the organization. We want key stakeholders and leaders in the industry. So this was also unique because it was the first time that competitors in this space and security vendors were getting together to form a security vendor-led alliance. We currently have 11 public members, including Telefonica, ElevenPaths. They've been one of our key contributing members since day one, February of 2015. The alliance is composed of leading CEOs. So our board of directors is the CEOs of the founding members that you see on this slide. So heavyweights in the industry, experts in the industry, and we have a very good base that's formed. What this is an organization that could get together to respond to threats and share in real time, share indicators in real time to respond to threats as well. If we look at our mission, first and foremost, what do we want to do? We want to protect customers. So all members, including Telefonica, ElevenPaths, when we share indicators in near real time, so we're talking about IOCs, indicators of compromise to threats, we want to ensure that these get pushed out as quickly as possible to customers so that we can protect and reduce the spread and impact of growing threats. This is a big task, right? I mean, to do this, we need to be able to share real-time indicators and have each member being able to ingest those indicators and deploy protections, mitigations into their security products. So this is actionable security intelligence, right? But we really want to go beyond that. When we first formed the alliance, how did we do this? How do we start to protect customers? In its inception in 2014 and 2015, we created a platform which was just sharing virus samples. So this is like VirusTotal, right? But the difference from VirusTotal, what we want to do is to share something unique. So the whole goal was that each member had to contribute samples, virus samples, that were not seen within the last 48 hours on VirusTotal. So something that's truly unique. And this was a good start. So we achieved automation to be able to share these samples. But we want to take that further. We really want to start to make this about not only protecting customers, but also about disrupting malicious actors, right? We want to make it expensive for cyber criminals to operate. That's a tough proposition. Not only do we want to do that, but we want to start tracking these adversaries, forming playbooks. So a playbook is something where we can map an adversary and start adding context to all these attacks, right? Who is behind these campaigns? What are their TTPs, their techniques, tactics, and procedures? And this is a big task. So we had success within the alliance back in 2015. And about Q4, we released a 70-page white paper on CryptoWall. So this was in its peak, in its heyday, CryptoWall version 3. Of course, one of the most ludicrous ransomware operations out there. We attributed about $325 million US to this attack campaign at the time. What did we learn from that? It was a successful campaign. We had weekly research calls between the CyberThreat Alliance organization members where we could manually share intelligence, right? And we created this white paper based off of that. It did disrupt the actors. After the day after we released that white paper within the alliance, CryptoWall 4 came out, so they switched versions, trying to shift tactics. And a lot of their IOCs and procedures were exposed. And CryptoWall 4 wasn't nearly as successful as 3. So we had a good first initial success after that, but it was very manual, right? And this is something in the industry, something that the industry hasn't truly solved. So we want to start to be able to create these playbooks now, extend it just beyond virus samples, and start sharing all of these advanced indicators in real time. So it's not just manual human efforts, but advanced intelligence that we can start sharing on any breaking playbook or attack campaign. This would include ransom campaigns such as CryptoWall, and as I'll show you coming up soon, of course, WannaCry. So how do we do that? After the CryptoWall 3 paper, in 2016, we got all of our resources together at the Alliance to start creating the next generation CTA platform. And I'm happy to report that we officially launched this platform this year. The CyberThreat Alliance was officially incorporated in January 2017. We brought on Checkpoint and Cisco as founding members. And one of the main announcements that we had at the RSA conference this year is onboarding Michael Daniel, our CTA president and CEO, who was former special assistant to President Barack Obama for a four-year term in the US, and also a coordinator of the National Security Council. So we have very good leadership and stakeholders. And from a development perspective, we've actually put in over a year of development to launch the CTA platform. What does this platform do? The whole goal is to share advanced indicators. How do we do that? We use STIX. So we're using STIX version 1.2. And to my knowledge, I work a lot with threat intelligence initiatives. This is one of the best, if not the best, working examples of a good use case and implementation of STIX in the industry. We've developed this, we've launched it, members are contributing. In fact, Telefonica ElevenPaths, originally, again, back in 2015, we're just sharing virus samples. As we transition from that platform to the new platform, of course, Telefonica ElevenPaths transitioned over to that, and they are also now sharing the advanced indicators using STIX. The idea of this is that we can share packages, and we can start building playbooks. This is a trusted community. So we know people and members face-to-face. When an indicator is shared into the platform on the Alliance, we can also vet it. This is something the industry hasn't typically solved. There's a lot of false positives out there, right? There's a lot of quick indicators that are released, that are perishable and die. And the whole idea here is that we can verify saying, yes, other members have seen this indicator, increasing that confidence rating, which is a very, very important aspect of the platform. In terms of ElevenPaths, very good results. As I said, from day one, they've joined the Alliance, of course, on the malware binary and sharing side. Currently today, I talked about that virus total unique percentage, over 70% unique. This is within our top 3 contributors of the Alliance. And we're talking about 15,000 to 30,000 virus samples per day. But again, the key metric here is the unique aspect. That's absolutely key. If we can start sharing unique samples that other members haven't seen, it's like a Venn diagram, we all increase our knowledge and can start releasing security controls. So it's a holistic security approach in the industry. But beyond that, if we look at just beyond malware binaries, as I said, on the new platform, members like ElevenPaths can now share also things like command and control, so C2 indicators, contextualizing this, right? So if someone shares a malware binary via the CTA platform, what's associated with that malware binary? Is it linked to this command and control address, to this domain, to this adversary, to this threat actor? And this is how we're building all of these, what we call playbooks now in the Alliance. So we're really trying to build the central repository in cyberspace, mapping the adversaries here. If we look at WannaCry in particular, of course, you've seen today a lot of good analysis from the groups who went up previous to me here. We learned a couple of things here. So within the Alliance, certainly did we utilize the CyberThreat Alliance platform? Yes. We had 1,600 artifacts shared for WannaCry. So these were things like malware samples, binaries, other things like that. And then also over 42, and this was one of the best cases to me I can see, over 4,200 pieces of context. Again, when we talk about advanced threat intelligence and what we're trying to do in the Alliance, it's about building that context. And how do you do that? You need to start mapping intelligence to the information that's shared, like a simple malware binary. 4,200 pieces of context linked. So this is the first, of course, breaking global epidemic and cyber attack campaign that the Alliance has actually utilized the new CTA platform for. So all members were actually getting access to this data, ingesting it in near real time so that they could start building security controls. And when we talk about security controls and mitigation, of course, what does that mean? For members like Fortinet or other security vendors, it's taking things like malware binaries to add to antivirus, domains to add to malicious web filtering, IPS signatures for, of course, breaking vulnerabilities and exploits, malicious IPs, and so forth, right? It's all about the security controls. Beyond that, we're also starting to, a big lesson learned from this attack campaign, and one of the largest successes we had was that we actually established a hotline. So when I talk about threat intelligence, there's multiple aspects, right? You have automation, and that, again, is the #1 key goal here, to automate that to as many customers worldwide throughout all the members of the Alliance to protect. But #2, we also want to talk about the human element, strategic, right? The problem is you get a lot of these security advisories today and PDF bulletins, and of course that's all manual strategic intelligence. You have to take in different indicators from that and plug it into your manual policies on the security device. So that is what the platform is designed to do here, the Cyber Threat Alliance. But the human element was very important here as well. So this is one of the #1 lessons learned from the Alliance we had, is we cannot underestimate the power of human intelligence. This is a trusted community. We established a hotline on May 11th when this broke. We had calls every 12 hours globally between all key stakeholders, leading security experts in the industry. That's an unprecedented feat. We all agreed on that, right? So this was all getting clear expert eyes on there to what we called, to enable us to clear the fog. When a lot of these attack campaigns break, there's a lot of unproven facts that are spread out there, a lot of reports, a lot of finger pointing, and it's too soon to tell. There has to be investigation. And that's what was a very powerful response from the Alliance. Within this hotline that we established, we're able to actually have humans on call saying, have you seen this? We're talking about patient zero and these things, and really clear the fog to establish a clear view of the facts, right? Separating fact from fiction. So that was a very important thing of the Alliance. Second thing, of course, share in real time. This was very important. I think, with the WannaCry epidemic and what you've seen here, thanks to efforts like Telefonica, the incident response and mitigation was very good in this aspect, right? So through the Alliance, we actually, beyond just sharing malware samples and indicators to protect customers, we had the think tanks also sharing things like telemetry data. We had all the members on the call saying, hey, we're seeing hits in these regions, and we're able to share statistics and look at this to get a clearer view. And of course, through that view, we can see things like Spain was not the #1 hit in the world, but US, Russia, Japan, UK, Brazil. And this was a holistic view where we actually started to confirm these facts between all of the members of the organization. So that was also very powerful and important too. So connecting the dots to show different perspectives and share in real time on the Alliance. So moving forward, of course, we're at a very important time right now. We've made a lot of good strides within the Alliance. We have the CTA platform deployed. Telefonica is active on there, as are other members. As I said, we're engaged with over 30 other members currently. And so you're going to see some new announcements of member additions to the Alliance as we continue to grow. Again, we're looking for key stakeholders who can contribute to the Alliance. It's not pay to play. There's a minimum daily threshold of intelligence that each member needs to contribute. Otherwise, they fall out of a good standing rating. And this is all about how people can contribute to the Alliance. Also, as I said, we learned the incident response element. We're actually creating incident response plans within the Alliance, building off this WannaCry incident, so that we can start tightening that process up. Is very successful on this, right? Bringing key leaders and experts together. From a human aspect, but as I said, continuing to hone and define that CTA platform so that we can continue to map out hundreds and hundreds of these playbooks. So beyond just WannaCry, also mapping the dots to other ransom campaigns, to other criminal organizations, so that we can begin to also make it even more expensive to cyber criminals and disrupt their actions further. So moving forward, I look forward to working with Telefonica and ElevenPaths. They've been an excellent member of the CyberThreat Alliance. We look forward to strengthening the future of cybersecurity. Thank you for your time. Buenos. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.